there, like
telling them.
No, directing them,
yes.
the dancers. Like I went on the show when Shamar was the host. Like, you know, I got hits. I made hits from year to year to year to year. So I was on when Shamar was on. You understand me? That's probably like my second or third record. But Don was there running the show. That's when he had his legs crossed on the director's chair, pointing and doing everything and cut. Wait a minute, hold on. Get them, do that, blah, 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 blah. All right, now action. Like he was that man.
And that's why I said, that's literally why I said from you, because I know how many times you did it, because obviously, like, I know, like, there's a lot of people, and I know you met with so many people in the entertainment industry, so you know gas when you feel it. You know gas when you feel it. And when we talk, it was just heartfelt. I said, bro, listen, this is something that, like, as a kid growing up to now as a man, just to think about all the influence that you had on me in music and just culture, and just seeing, like, that was the representation. Like, even like you said, we went out and watched Soul Train. I remember my friends when we was on the block, and when your albums came out, it was like if you didn't know at least 3 songs by Tuesday, word for word, don't talk. Fact.
The gospel. But watch this. Let me tell you this part. Let me tell you what Don did that he don't get no credit for. Don let me and Dr. Dre bring a lowrider on stage at the Soul Train Awards.
I remember.
The lowrider was the first of its kind. They was like, it's gonna break the stage. You can't bring a real car out here. You should bring a replica or without the. Don was like, fuck that. Them niggas want to bring a 6'4" Chevrolet. Reinforce the motherfucking stage. Stop making excuses, nigga. Put some metal up under that stage so it's reinforced, because Dr. Dre want to hit the switch on this son of a bitch. We came out, Dr. Dre popped the switch on that motherfucker. Whap. All of a sudden, stopped it. I jumped out that motherfucker, put my hands up like a king, nigga. The crowd went crazy. It said, and now our national anthem. 1, 2, 3, until the 4. Nigga, that motherfucker was bang.
I remember.
Don sitting in the front row. That nigga sitting in the front row like this, like, yeah, this is my creation, nigga. Yeah.
And artists are everything. He said the artists are what make us. We actually have a line in the show where we actually say that. We say, the artists are what make the show, and the artists are what make us. Without them, we're nothing.
Dog, let me give you this real quick. I've been nominated for 18 Grammys. Ain't won none. I got 2 Soul Train Awards. Fuck the Grammys.
Facts.
Now.
Facts.
Now.
That's love. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Now.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That's how many times they didn't play with me, but Don didn't play no games, nigga. Don handed it over immediately. This yours. Here you go. Anita Baker right there with me taking a flick when I win my first Soul Train Award. You dig? With Anita Baker.
Yeah.
Give a fuck about no Grammys. Y'all wasn't gonna have nobody like that there. He had all the greats at the Soul Train Award that you want to see. So even if you don't win, you seeing the greats.
Yeah, he always did it. He always, and that's the thing that I learned and I unpacked, was because he did that all the time. He spoke about that authenticity all the time. You know what I mean?
And you plan him, brother. You plan him well. You doing an amazing job. When you put that afro on and them bell bottoms, you turning the dime, my brother. You didn't. I don't know if it's the pants or the afro, but you dime when you turn in.
You believe it? Hey, look, and I remember.
I believe it.
Dog, I mean, you know Robbie Reed, the great cast director Robbie Reed cast a lot.
Yes,
like,
Robbie's amazing. She's the one, not the two.
Robbie was the one who was like, you're going to play this character. And I remember originally being like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to do the character justice. And then Robbie called me on a Monday and said, so have you thought about it? I said, yeah, no, Robbie, I don't know. She said, oh, okay, cool. Then she called me on a Tuesday. She said, how you feeling? I said, I don't know. And Robbie, I'm still thinking about it. Then she called me on a Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Right? I said, Robbie, I don't think it's for me. I said, I don't think it's for me. She said, oh, okay. And called me back on Thursday. And I was like, well, all right. All right.
Yeah, when she calling back to back, come on, man. That she got better things to do. So that must mean you playing games. Take the role, man.
Listen. I mean, when you, like you said, like when God has something for you, when he knows your call, when he knows what's right for you. I talk about this all the time. You can say no as many times as you want, but he gonna wake you up and say, that's cool, I'm gonna be back tomorrow. And I'm so grateful to her for allowing me to step into those shoes and use as a vessel to say, like, this is yours. Because not only did you, like you said in the beginning of the convo, the amount that I've learned, the confidence that I've gained as an actor to tell so many stories is like the cosign upon cosigns.
Yeah, because the confidence is key. Once you adapt that confidence, you can be anybody, you can do anything. You don't go into the room hoping for the job. You go into the room taking the job.
Right, right, right,
I ain't never
right,
did no audition. I didn't get it. I don't do auditions. You understand me?
right.
And that's just, I mean, you can call it egotistical. You can call it what you want. I don't do auditions. Nigga, what's the role? That's mine. I'm taking that. Who you got on the, you got who on the wall? You got this actor, this actor. Snatch that shit off the wall. They can't do what I do. Now
That's
watch out
fact.
now.
That's fact. And I'm coming in here to take it. And
Yeah,
multiple
it ain't
movies.
about them. It's about me. It don't got nothing to do with you. It's about me. I'm this prepared for this character the way you can't tell me no.
Right, right. Authenticity, truth.
Righteous.
Yeah,
I'm gonna know the lines. I'm gonna bring my flavor to the table, and then at the same time, I'm gonna bring something to this character that paper can't do.
correct. Student of the game.
Hello.
But hey, so what character would you play? Because I know we talked about it. You was like, I love that show. I want to be on the show. And I was geeked. I said, okay, let's get it. What character?
First of all, he gotta be a player. He gotta be a Rick James type of player, somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Rick James was a personal friend of mine. When he first got out, he called me up to go to the studio with him. You understand me? Me, him, and Bobby Womack. And I felt honored to get a call from Slick Rick to meet him at the studio with Bobby Womack at Michael Jackson's studio. You hear me?
Yeah.
So, you know, and the way Rick James moved, we moved similar. Like, not physically, but I mean, just the way his mentality was, the way he attacked music, the way he had strong people around him. He had great women that he could produce, and just how he changed Motown. What motherfuckers don't know is Motown was dead. And he brought that shit back to life with that funk and all that other stuff, because the Motown era had passed by and it was a new era moving forward. So Rick was different and he was real, and he wasn't like them. He wasn't as clean as the Motown singer. He was smoking weed. He had bitches. He had braids in his hair. He said what he wanted. You get what I'm saying? So it was a different cut. But he was a Detroit nigga. Motown was built in Detroit.
Yeah.
Everybody wasn't clean, baby, and all that. Some of them was gangbanging and you know, street. So Rick was the expression to take Motown over the hump, if you ask me, because we got back in tune with Motown because of Rick.
Yeah. And you said that was the inspiration for you to keep your authenticity, not to find, but to keep.
Yes, because he stayed Rick James. He stayed Rick from the moment he came in to the last time you seen him on stage at the awards, the Soul Train Awards, when he told the motherfucker, somebody came up to me backstage and said something, bitch, I'm Rick James. And he left. I said, oh, that was cold. And that's at the Soul Train Awards. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
The only place that would have our greatness.
Yes.
Be as great as they could be.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? Like, that platform means a lot. Then the Lady of Soul Awards, where Don looked out for the females, like, hold on, let me take care of y'all too. Come on, brother.
Yes. Yes. The excellence of for us, by us.
To know I gotta set the trailblazers we can have our own award show. We can have our own award show dedicated to Black women. We can have our own award show dedicated to what we do. We just gotta do it. Stop talking about it and be about it.
Yes. Yeah. And do it. Like you said, take the action. And I think that's the biggest thing that I always think about as an artist is creating lanes and navigation for yourself. And I say this just like, again, looking at all the facets, right? And we haven't even unpacked that. And we can pack that like days and days and days, is the ability to create lanes for ourselves using our artistry as our power. And knowing what we bring to the table. Like you, like people, I think people know, but I'm gonna educate them again. Movies, music, plays, documentaries. You've done all of it successfully. All of it. And that's keeping authenticity to artistry. And you just do that because you just say, like, this is who I gotta be, or you just always knew that to be true?
I think you grow into finding out how to master yourself. And anytime you're searching for greatness and you're studying, the key to everything is to master yourself. And once you master yourself, then you can be the best you at all times, and you can give people different versions of you based upon what's needed and what's necessary. And once I learned to master the greatness of Snoop Dogg, which is a love, my mama taught me how to love. She raised me to love people. She raised me to be real, to be soulful, to be a powerful individual. So that's who I am, and that's who I've become to be, because I've learned to master every trait that it comes to being Snoop Dogg.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's real. That's real on so many levels of just like tapping into young artists and the advice to give the young artists. because we're in an era where it's talking about passing on and then lifting us up. And I always talk about being active activists, active activism for ourselves,
Right.
for the community, representing everybody. And I think specifically for artists of color, it's that thing of saying, own yourself so that you can authentically walk that in the room every day. And I would say this, in learning from your conversation, when I tapped into Sinqua is when I was able to deliver more diversity to characters.
That's deep.
That like,
so that means the character is not driving the character, you're driving the character.
Yes.
Always in control, my brother. That's the key. Because
Yes.
sometimes we find ourselves, we can lose control by being that character and taking that character off screen with us. Yes. And then it becomes a disaster. Because it can happen, because it's been times where I played, like when I played Baby Boy, a character in Baby Boy, I had to be that nigga all the time. And, you know, it was rubbing off on me because I was like, damn, I'm really acting like this nigga off screen. Let me, John, when we done shooting this motherfucker, you got me acting a fool. Nigga, I need to go back to being cool with kids. Kids are scared of me and shit now. What's going on, nigga? You got me fucked up. But it's because I became engulfed in the role and I wanted to be that. Like, I was working with John Singleton, nigga. I was like, hold on. I'm finna get this nigga all of what he looking for and then some.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, for me, that was like I said, like 2 summers ago when I had to shoot the movie with Angela. And I remember my agent, you know, you got that call where it's like, do not show up not prepared. By the first rehearsal, I was completely off book on the whole script, playing like I was just finding the lines. Because I was like, oh, I'm over prepared. Because they said, you're going to be in a scene with Angela Bassett. So, okay.
Right.
Like, okay.
Now.
I'm sitting there like this. Oh, you guys need me? Okay, yeah, cool. Oh, rehearsal? No, I'm fine. The whole time. They're like, you good? I was like, I'm straight. Just let me know when y'all need me.
Studious.
Opportunity.
Yes, sir. And it rubbed her the right way, too, because she seen your ethic. Yeah. And one thing about professionals and people that's geniuses and legends in the game, we recognize work ethic first. That trumps talent. Fuck your talent. What's your work ethic like? Because everybody got talent, but everybody don't know how to, you know, get to it and stay on top of it and hone it and have a work ethic that keeps them on top. So that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for the most talented. We're looking for the most hungriest, the one who works the best, who on time knows the lines and this and that and that and that. We're like, boy, that boy got something. He different. See how you went from that to directing? Like, that's a big ass leap. Like, I directed a few things, but nigga, I didn't really direct. I had a nigga that was doing it, and I was like, you do this, and you really direct. You know what I'm talking about?
Bro, it's like once you find that love, like you said about just like what we do in like your music, it's like once you find that love, you want to be immersed in everything. And I was like, okay, how can I be here? Like I said, who was me before I got here, and where did they go? Because I don't want to be them. So my heroes changed. You know what I mean? My inspiration changed, my motivation changed. So I had to go back to the bag and educate myself so that I can make sure that I could walk into it effectively. You know, so what do you
think about that era that makes people love the 70s? That you're playing it, that you heavy entwined in now. What do you think about?
I think number one, the authenticity. I think you could see people when you would specifically on Soul Train, when you turned on the dial and you saw everybody living, grooving, and moving and being free. You know, that was a time of political oppression, cultural oppression, social oppression. And this is one of the few outlets where people could express themselves completely through music.
Right.
They feeling, loving, accepting people from all walks of life and all colors. So why they loved it because of the ability to be free. Yeah.
That's heavy because we didn't even know why we loved it. We just loved it as kids. Like from kids to teenagers to an adult to when I went to jail. And nigga, we was in jail waiting on Saturdays to watch that shit. It would be a big ass fight if somebody that wasn't black would change that motherfucking channel from channel 5. If you move that motherfucking channel from channel 5 to anything else from motherfucking 10 to 12, we beating your ass. Don't you fuck with Soul Train. I'm serious. There's been many fights that then jumped off behind somebody changing the motherfucking channel when Soul Train was on. I'm serious, cuz I'm not making this shit up.
I believe, like, look, so we gotta find you that character. We gotta find you that player. That's
find it. Take your time. Ain't no rush. Take your time and find somebody that fits the MO to where I can go on there and do my thing. Cause the fucking Big Boy as George Clinton.
Yeah.
And my boy Darius as fucking James Brown.
Man, talk about that. Talk about Darius.
Come on, nigga. That nigga was talking like James Brown. That nigga said, I said, cut, nigga. I had a 3-hour conversation with James Brown in my house one night. So to see the mannerism and the way he would stop and talk and pause, that motherfucker Darius was on his ass.
Yeah. Yes.
And then when I first heard Big Boy say something, I didn't even look at the screen. I just think his back was turned, and he said something, and this tone of his voice was like George Clinton with the deepness of how George talks. And I was like, oh my God, this nigga playing George Clinton? Oh man, I'm hating, but I'm loving it. Because I'm like, this is my Funk Brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving it. I'm like, oh, why y'all didn't cut me in or cut it out? I gotta tell these niggas I love this show, man. This shit is too much. I need to be in.
Yeah, when you said it, I said, you saw when we was talking about it, I said, what? Yeah, absolutely. I'm hitting everybody. What? No.
But that's what it makes me feel like. That's what it makes us feel like, to where it's a show that makes you want to be a part of it. Like, this ain't a show where you want to bash it and talk bad about it, man. Their hair ain't right, the outfits ain't right. No, this shit is right, nigga. Their hair is right, the outfit's right, the acting is right, the dancing, the emotion, the spirit. I want to be on this show. See, when it go from I want to be on this show, that's when the motherfucker good.
Right. And I remember when I even with this script, but I also remember even like talking about power. It was like, I remember having a conversation with Courtney Kemp, who created the show, along with
Yes. And
I remember we had a deep conversation, and she called me just kind of like messing with me. She was like, so what do you think about the script? I said, listen, I read it. I love it. Like, I had the audition, I did my thing, and I said, even if you do not cast me, I'm still gonna watch this show. I remember when I read this script, I read one episode, and I was like, ooh, this is good. I read part 2, and I was like, even if I'm not on this show,
I'm peeping it out. Right.
Yeah.
So that's how everybody else feels. So look at what you just said, and then think about us as just regular people that's thumbing through the channels. We got a whole lot of channels. We got streaming platforms to choose from. Well, we just so happen to give BET that benefit of the doubt, because that's BET. We go on there, we see a trailer that say American Soul. We're like, oh, they doing something for Don King. Then we fuck around, push Tebow, and we don't watch the first episode, but when the second one come on, nigga like, hold on, I gotta go back. Then before you know it, you did 9 hours in this motherfucker locked and watching them one season. Like, oh, I got shit to do. I'm tripping, cuz. They got me locked up in there watching Soul Train, cuz.
Yeah.
That's great. That's greatness. That when you could take us out of our element and make us tune in and then compliment and praise and then say we want to be a part of, you did your job.
Yeah, and that's why I say shout out to you. Mentioned the hair. You mentioned like our wardrobe department, our hair department, our set decoration. These people are award winners. As much as people fall in love with like Don and the other actors on the show and that are created, you know,
it's that behind the scenes, the set, the man, the wardrobe, the set, the lights, the hair, all of that, man, to make sure it's authentic to that era, from the shoes to the naturals being picked out, to the makeup they didn't wear, to the way the girls had their shirts twisted up, to the way the brothers wore their pants tights with bell bottoms on the bottom. Like, all that shit matters. It can't be no nigga in there with no shoes from the 1980s talking about we shooting a movie from the 70s.
You can't. And I mean, hair department, excuse me, I say our wardrobe department, Rita and Aaliyah, they would come through, and I'm talking like match for match, colors, fabric, everything. Our hair department, they would have afro checks. Like I would be walking, and it was like an afro team. Shout out to my man Jason, because he literally would come through and be like, hold up, pop, pop, pop. Pop,
yeah,
pop,
we used to have to put our net. We had to put our net on it, lay it down, spread that afro sheen, shape it out, pick the edges, tuck them in real tight, and then it's like it's a cuff you got to do. See, I had an afro, so I understand. You got to cuff it. You got to cuff both edges, and then cuff the back, so that way when you walk it, and all of a sudden it's just gonna sit, it's just gonna lay down like. And an afro sheen with that shine, my God, they just don't make it like they used to.
But listen, bro, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you so much for the love, for the support, for the wisdom on everything, for the love for American Soul, for the wisdom you've given to me. I will ask and say the advice that you would give to me, then the advice that you would give all the people coming up under you to say as artists, how to continue to move and how to move forward.
I think the best thing to do is, like I said earlier, study, Learn who you are, master the craft on being the best you that you can be. Study the greats before you, whatever field that you're in. Study their greatness and see what their struggle was and what their achievements were, so you can have a little bit of insight on what it takes to be great. And then you also want to be courteous and kind to people. You want to be loved, because you never know who you're going to meet going up. You may meet them on the way down. You may meet them on the way back up. This industry is full of ups and downs. I done been down more than I've been up, but you can't tell because I always keep myself up.
Swag. I
Love you, brother.
I love you, bro. I appreciate you so much. Hey, guys, American Soul is on right now. This conversation ran over because it had to. Check us out. Show us love. You know who I'm talking to. You know the co-signs of Conversation on Soul. American Soul is on right now.
Sinqua, you a hell of a brother, man. Great work. Keep directing your ass off. I look forward to working with you one day soon. Whether it's on this show or something in the future, we definitely need to make something happen.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, brother.
Love you, bro.
Love you back.